Hola, I'm Bella Singh and this is Singh Sunday. So today we are talking about rigged algorithms, from how the UK government messed up GCSE and A-level results, and also how your phone is designed for you to remain addicted to it. Okay, so let's start with the A-level and GCSE results, because, if I was born 8 days later, I would have been affected. It was a very near miss. Thankfully, I am born on the 23rd of August 2003 and not September 1st, 2003, because then I wouldn't have been able to sit my GCSEs and it just would have gone terribly wrong. But I do feel like the A-level result fiasco was even worse than the GCSE one, because whilst both are two very important sets of examinations for your life, the A-levels affect your university place the most. And, university, you get a degree that can really help you further on in life, and to be messing with people like that is just not a good thing. So let's look at some of the deciding factors that were used for this algorithm to predict people's grades. First of all, we have the teacher's opinion. And there are just so many issues with this. I think most teachers cannot mark tests at all. Like, if you looked at my GCSE tests I did in school versus my actual results, there is a huge difference. And a lot of teachers have bias towards certain students. You don't know which teachers are racist, who are going to put you down grades when they recommend grades to the exam centres and stuff. So going off of a teacher's opinion is just not it. And then we have mocks, and with mocks, again, terrible way of establishing what somebody would get in the real thing, because some mocks are like in December and you don't even know half the course stuff yet by December. You're not fully there with your knowledge. Mocks you don't usually revise a lot for necessarily, because you want to put your energy into the real exam. And in those few months before an actual exam takes place, your whole mindset changes and you just learn so much in that crunch time. So from the time of my science mocks, which the teachers decided the questions, and it wasn't even a proper paper, there was no 6 papers, they were just like combining stuff all over the place, and I got a 3 in those December science mocks, and then the real GCSE I got a 7. So, that is why you cannot rely on mocks to predict grades. And out of all of their rigged algorithm, the worst deciding factor of students' grades was how they looked at the school's past history of results and used that to determine a student's results. That is so classist and elitist, because not everyone can be born in a good area and go to a school where there's a lot of high attaining students. You can't control that. You just have to make the most of your situation, and that automatically puts people who are privately educated on a pedestal, because obviously those schools pump a lot into those kids so they get good results, whereas other schools, let's say it's in a disadvantaged area, their results might be lower. But as a student yourself, you could be putting in so much work where you can do even better than the students who go to a private school. So to base a person's grade off of other people in their school is just so wrong. And that just really shows what the UK government is about, a shambles. Because they really just weren't helping people at all. So now that we've battled the government, let's look into our phones. It's a Truman world and we're all living in it. On Netflix, I watched this new documentary called The Social Dilemma, and it really just opened my eyes. So there were all these Google, Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram employees, and they were talking about why they left the companies, and it was all basically pretty much for ethical reasons, because they design these apps to keep you addicted and to keep scrolling, and they don't want you to stop, and they never consider, oh, maybe we should maybe make this a little less addictive. Like, I know Instagram does have that timer thing, which I do use. I limit myself to 30 minutes a day and I never go over it. But it would be nice if all the apps took a lot more accountability for their addictive purposes on their algorithm. The documentary really highlighted something to me. Only 2 industries refer to their consumers as users: drugs and social media, because we're just the users, whereas the actual consumer is an advertiser because they buy all our data. And that's also another issue, the way they just store everyone's data, because I see my dad get lost in the black hole of Facebook so much. It recommends him video after video and he can't stop scrolling, and then before you know it, he's going to bed late because he's just been up all this time watching Facebook videos. There's this film called The Circle, and it's about a girl who goes to work at a tech firm. It's kind of like Google, but obviously it's like a fake version. And the way an ex-Google employee in The Social Dilemma explained how Google has all these database computer things and they have rows and rows of them all plugged in is exactly like in The Circle, how they have everyone's information stored in these underground rooms on these giant database computers. So, that film is not far off of reality. There are 3 apps with algorithms that I can just fully see through at this point, and they are Pinterest, TikTok, and YouTube. Let's start with YouTube. Everyone goes through phases. Like, let's say a new singer releases an album, obviously you're going to get really into them and start watching videos about them, all little stan videos, edits, interviews, and then it keeps recommending you more videos about them. And I really I know the algorithms are bad because they keep you addicted, but I really like YouTube's music algorithm, because in the morning when I get ready, I listen to music on YouTube instead of Spotify, because I like how there's visuals and colours in music videos, and YouTube gets used to the music that you listen to on repeat. I have a selection of 10 songs I'm listening to at the moment on in a circle, and YouTube just knows which one to play next, which is so good. On TikTok there is the For You page, and the For You page, I feel like it updates its algorithm every few minutes, because if you're on your For You page and you like a picture about baby photography, 3 posts down it'll shove in something else about babies, which is pretty crazy. And I know so many people that just get lost on their For You page. So when I go on TikTok, I go on my phone in the timer section and I will literally put in 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So I know when that timer goes off, I have to come off, because it's that endless scrolling thing. It just keeps you going. And whilst it can be fun, it can also have a bad effect on people, especially little kids. Let's say their parents aren't monitoring them. They're just going to be stuck to that all day. Now Pinterest, that is another dangerous one, because they have this really cool feature where you zoom in on the picture and then it recommends you more pictures of stuff like that. Have you seen those cakes? I forget the name, but I think a lot of them are Korean, and they're so aesthetic, these cakes, and if you zoom in on part of the icing and the colour, it'll show you more in that exact colour. And I could just look at these cakes all day. And also the way Pinterest is designed is it gives you a home page, and it's not necessarily just people you follow, because I don't really need to follow anyone on there because it's so good at recommending me stuff, which is also scary, because it's wow, your algorithm is that intense. You just know what I want to see because I keep looking at it. And then also about Pinterest, well, it's never ending scrolling, and when you make a board of the stuff you like, that more ideas button, it just shows me even more pictures, and then I'm just in this whole visual wonderland, and it's great. for me, because I'm actually actively looking for pictures to put in my board, and then I get them printed out and I put them on my wall for like my collage. But if someone's literally going on there to look at, let's say they want to redesign their living room, and then they get lost in a whole world and they've forgotten to make dinner for their kids, you know, just a tad dangerous. And one of the craziest but truest parts that I saw when I was watching The Social Dilemma was when the mum, she put everyone's phone in a jar for an hour whilst they ate dinner, because, you know, it's rude to be on your phone whilst you're eating dinner. And the girl's phone goes off and she has like a Snapchat notification and she just can't not look at it. And then she smashes this glass jar just to get her phone out, and it even smashes her brother's phone, but she doesn't care because she had to get to her notification so fast. And a lot of people are owned by those notifications. So personally, I actually do not have many notifications turned on. I have Snapchat sounds, but I don't have anything show up on my lock screen. So if I'm not near my phone, I won't actually know that someone sent me a message unless I open my phone. And I don't really talk to anyone, so not big of an issue for me. And then I have reminders on because I like to plan my day out and write things so I remember them. And then the Ring doorbell, which we just got, is so fun. But I turned the sounds off on that because otherwise it'll keep going off. But it's just interesting for like a security standpoint. But if I were to have like people's post notifications on and all that, and if, let's say, if I was talking to people on my phone a lot and my phone just kept buzzing, it would be annoying, and a lot of people get completely consumed by that and entered into that world, and it doesn't stop, and then they're just on their phone all day talking to people, watching stuff, and you know, then we have a whole life and you're not living it, you're just living it on your phone. So it's really good to, whilst you can enjoy time on your phone, to set some limits, some screen time, you know, get that usage down. This has been the Singh Sunday Podcast, where I upload a new podcast episode every Sunday on Spotify and YouTube. I'm your host, Bella Singh, and thanks for listening.